Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes Reacts. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively we are two of the Office Blokes. We feel like we need to make an announcement of this.
Nah, okay.
Jog on. We've got two other YouTube channels, Patreon page, social media, merch, all that good stuff. Click the link below, it'll take you where you need to go. Simple as that. We're looking very, very colourful today, aren't we?
Yeah, man, this is white actually. It's just the glow of your hair that's making it look orange.
Oh. Anyway, right, fake beggars who were caught red-handed. That thumbnail is just... wow, scum. Should we get straight into it? Fake beggars who were caught red-handed. Let's do this.
In the world, there are many people who don't have things like money or houses. It's important that we look after these people and help them out when we can, but it's also important to make sure that these people are the real deal. It turns out some beggars aren't who they say they are. Some are not actually in need and are very bad people. Others may fake things to make us feel sorry for them to make more money. And some beggars actually are incredibly wealthy with houses and luxury cars. No one knows just how many fake beggars are out there, but we do know about these ones who were revealed and exposed. 5th Avenue Beggar. If you're preying on unsuspecting rich people to catch with a begging scam, one of the best places to do it is 5th Avenue. 5th Avenue is a major road in Manhattan, New York. 5th Avenue is famous for its expensive luxury jewelry and clothing stores, and it's also a hub for the city's scammers. After all, what better target for a scam than a rich person? One of these scammers was this woman. At a first glance, she seems like a very vulnerable elderly woman on crutches. It seems like she has some kind of hunchback or disability.
It's not that old to me when you see her face.
Like, there's a few there I've seen scattered around the Romanian community, and they're fucking full of shit all the time.
Dressed like a babushka.
Yeah.
But one day a man on 5th Avenue was watching this woman. That's when something she did raised a red flag. She would panhandle with a cup. But whenever someone put money into this cup, she would empty it into a handbag. This made it seem like she was not getting any money. She would earn around 50 donations per hour, earning her anything from $50 to $500 per hour. That is much more than minimum wage. After seeing her empty her cup, some undercover journalists began tracking this woman. They waited until night and followed her. They saw her walk away and climb into a minivan. But when she climbed back out, the journalists were stunned. They saw a very young, healthy, put-together woman. She no longer had crutches and was walking normally. And she also had a totally different, expensive outfit. She looked more suited to be shopping on 5th Avenue than begging on it. They continued following this woman, and the following day she went on a shopping spree with her friends, probably spending the ill-gotten donations from the previous day. The next day she went back to work as a vulnerable disabled woman. The journalists confronted her, but the scammer ignored them.
We've been watching you the last few days, and you don't really need those crutches, do you? We saw you this morning walking perfectly fine.
It's unknown what this woman's doing now, but if you see her on 5th Avenue, then beware. Fake disability.
It's a whole Simpsons episode about this, isn't there? Where,
I don't know, not seen it.
Homer doesn't fake a disability, but he just starts panhandling and just acting crazy and makes loads of money, and I think he wants to buy Marge some diamond earrings or something. It's a legit thing, isn't it?
It's massive, and I'm very dubious on who I give money to if I see a beggar or anything. But there was a guy in town once, in Manchester in the centre, and I went up to him and I said, "What would you spend the money?" If I give you money, what are you going to spend it on? Drugs or beer? Or he went, "No." He said, "I'll go in a hostel." So I'll tell you what, let's go to the hostel and I'll pay for the hostel, so you can get a night's sleep and shower and all. I went, "Yeah, okay." He starts packing all his shit up and starts walking off towards the hostel. I went, "Yeah, there he is, 20 quid."
He proper called you out. Can you hold my sleeping bag, mate?
That's what it was. Just hold that for me.
Nice.
Naturally, you're much more likely to give money to a beggar if they're disabled. After all, this means they're more vulnerable and you feel sorry for them. Some beggars even give stories about how they are veterans who were injured on the battlefield. But it turns out not all of these disabilities are real. For example, this beggar in China. In the middle of a busy street, this guy was caught red-handed. He was lying on the ground with wheels to get about, and he was pretending to passers-by that he had lost both his legs. But that's when a passerby recognized the beggar. He had been on the bus with the beggar just hours ago, and back then the beggar had been standing up normally. The man decided to expose the beggar on the street for everyone to see. It's a good thing he recognized the right person, because if he got the wrong guy, this would have been awkward. But it was the right guy, and this fake beggar's secret was exposed. The beggar had simply crossed his legs under his clothes. Another fake Chinese
It's just like fucking scooting off like that, right?
There's not many scenarios where you can rip someone's pants off in public and you not be the one that's out of order.
Imagine if you had no legs though. You got mixed up.
Oh my god!
I got one once where a guy had said he had a board that said he was a veteran, a Falklands War veteran.
Yeah.
And he fought in the Falklands War. So I thought, fair enough, I'll give him some money. You know what he said?
Go on.
Mucho gracias.
I'm sure you've done that one before.
Got stiffed again.
Yeah. I was gonna, have you seen the there's people who, what do you call it, stolen valor? It's a big thing in America where you pretend to be ex-military. There's a guy who does reactions as well, actually. He's got a channel called Jameson's Travels, I think it is, who's ex-military, and he does loads of the stolen valor stuff and breaks it down as a military guy, you know, where people are wearing the wrong patches, the uniform. You get people dressed as like admirals walking on, you know, like the hat and loads of medals on and stuff.
That's how you do that, isn't it?
Yeah, precisely. Yeah, it's a good channel, like, go and have a look.
Beggar moved around on a wooden skateboard. He was pretending he had no legs and no hands. But after this guy collects a lot of money, he stands up like normal. He even counts his money very fast with his working hands. This guy is a really bad person. Not only is he lying to all of these people, but he's also taking donations from real beggars with actual disabilities. Something similar was caught on surveillance.
That's the thing that pisses me off most about it, is the people that are, there's plenty of people that need help and that are disabled and homeless and stuff. You're stealing, aren't you? You're stealing from them.
You see a lot more now, though. I mean, maybe it's an industry now.
I think it always has been. There's lots of the big issue sellers where we are, I won't say where, that live, you know, where I used to live on the other side of the train tracks. You've got those flats, they live in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they just go out and, you know, they're homeless for the day and then go back.
Someone got murdered in them flats about a week ago.
Yeah. Wasn't me. Ooh, I've remembered what I was going to say about Mike.
Footage in an Arabic country. An entire family is walking around with a man who claims to be disabled. They had been collecting donations, but that's when a surveillance camera catches this man resting on the stairs. He then takes off his work clothes and walks around like normal. Another beggar who was faking a disability was revealed in Pakistan. A journalist is tipped off that he's a fake. He goes to confront him and takes his walking sticks. At first, the man pretends to not know how to walk without his walking sticks. But eventually he gets tired of the journalist questioning him. He then stands up and walks away without even limping. It's a good job that this reporter did this, because he probably saved people a lot of money. Mercedes-Benz beggar. Some beggars who scam people are still quite poor. But as you're about to see, sometimes even the rich beg. One day a pregnant woman was panhandling on the streets of San Francisco with her young son, but was stunned when she walked away and got into a Mercedes-Benz. Someone posted this on social media, and that's when others came forward saying they saw her do the exact same thing. She became infamous in San Francisco and her scam was revealed on the news. When a reporter confronted her about this, at first she said that the woman in the photo was not her.
Is this she right there begging on the street? No. That's not.
But a facial recognition expert said it definitely was. This woman may still be out there. So if you see her panhandling in San Francisco, then beware. Fake homeless. One day, someone noticed that a panhandler was actually scamming people. He would go out with a sign saying he was homeless and ask for money. But at the end of the day, when his work was done, he would go home to his house. The person who realized this tipped off a YouTuber named the Vale family, and they did some incredibly impressive investigation work. They followed him and recorded him begging and then going back to his house. To make matters worse, this guy even drove a new car, and the house he lived in was fairly large. When the Vale family knocked on his door to confront him, the man was stunned. The man said he had no idea what the YouTuber and camera crew were talking about.
Over here on the corner, holding up a sign. You might,
No way,
you might remember holding up a
I don't think it
seat.
was
Yeah.
you, man.
But the same man was caught on tape by the YouTubers before, and he was even wearing the same clothing, so it pretty much confirmed it was him. It's really sad that people actually do this, but good job to the Vale family for revealing this fake beggar. PhD Beggar. This beggar is not a malicious scammer. Instead, he was making something up because he was desperate and he had to. This man was an Indian school teacher who retired. Dinesh Dwivedi had a PhD. He also had a pension of 35,000 rupees per month. That's around $500. He also had a work salary as well, but he would also go on the street of Jaipur and beg for money. So if he already had money, then why was he begging? Well, it turned out his son was an addict. His son would steal his money, and also injure Dwivedi as well. Dwivedi's money was drying up, so he had no choice but to fake an injury and beg on the street. Eventually, the media caught on to this and exposed him, but people still took pity on his situation. Locals moved him into a care home so he could be looked after. So, although he did lie, he was doing it for good reasons. And it's great people came together to help this old man in need. Highway Widow. If you saw an elderly widow begging on the side of the highway, chances are you would help her.
That guy in India.
Yeah.
The easiest way to help him out is get rid of his son.
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Then the fucking
His
problem is
son's
away.
the problem, isn't he?
Yeah, he needs to spend he needs a pedicure.
Yeah, it's a sad one, that, though, isn't it? That's like... The spin on this is that people are taking advantage of the public, but the guy taking advantage of the public is being taken advantage of. He's just an old man being taken advantage of, so...
Easiest way to deal with it is just get rid of his kid, innit?
Yeah.
Out. There's something on our brains which makes us care much more about the elderly and very young. Her sign said that she was in need of money, and many people gave her money. But that's when a man named Daniel spotted this woman counting her money in a 2014 car.
You asking for money in the middle of the street, and you drive a 2013 car?
When a YouTuber confronted her about this, she got very angry. It just goes to show that you should be cautious about any panhandler asking for money. Most will be real, but you never know. But now it's time to make your voice heard. Comment down below which was the smartest fake beggar. If you want some more amazing videos, then check out my second channel. But as always, thank you for watching. There are some more videos you may like on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.
That was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about it when we lined it up.
I thought it was going to be pretty hairy, to be honest,
Yeah.
but that was all right.
There's some proper scammers though, isn't they?
Yeah.
Best thing is, I mean, I know it's easy to just say don't give money or whatever, but it's, you want to try and help out people who are in need.
Some people need it, don't they? That's the thing, and you're taking it from the people who need it. It's a sad one. I mean, I suppose you've in your own mind when you're giving money, you've got to rationalise that it may not be legit, and you've just got to be happy to part with that money, and your involvement ends.
There's a guy who sits in the centre of Altrincham. I don't know if you've seen him next. Is it Home Bargains? That like discount shop. It's quite big.
Wilco.
No, the other end.
Oh yeah, Home Bargains.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. And he sits outside there, and people must say to him, "Get him something to eat." He's got like fucking a box of food. Makes him like loads of sandwiches in it.
I was in years ago. I was in Boots in Altrincham, and it was when they were closing, and all of the sandwiches had been reduced to like 10p. And I went
Big
outside.
scrap over it.
No, I went outside, and I was like, "Well, first off, I said, can you not just give them to the homeless people in the street outside? 10p is ridiculous." But then told a couple of homeless people, go in there, the sandwiches are 10p each, you could eat for days. No.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean? You can literally, for £1, you got like
they're not
days
interested in
worth
that.
of food.
But to be fair, my wife went. There's one in Hale. That's sort of like he's always sat there, and I offered to pay for him a night in that hotel when it was there, and the hotel told me to get out. So my wife went to the shop and she got him like a 6-pack of beer.
Well,
she went, there you go, that's what you want.
I used to have a couple of mates that worked in said hotel, and I think that guy lived in, like, there was a thing behind the hotel where maybe a door had been kicked in, or like there was like a squat, and that's where he lived. So the hotel didn't particularly like him. Because he was kind of...
No, it wasn't that guy, because I know what you're talking about. Because
right.
he lived in a house, and they give him a house, and he didn't want to live in a specific area.
Right.
So he'd rather be homeless.
Homeless in Hale, though.
I know. Anyway, yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. Hope
Yeah.
you guys enjoyed it too. Don't forget, like and subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers. Guys.